My name is Assa-Agyei, and in today's lesson, I'll be taking you through how to set up a VMware and also install Ubuntu Linux. Now, setting up a virtual machine allows you to run a complete operating system inside our existing computer. In this lesson, we will learn how to install a virtual machine using the VMware and then set up Ubuntu inside it. This process helps practice, test, and explore Linux without affecting our main or base operating system. So by the end, you will understand how virtualization works and how to deploy a fully functional Ubuntu environment on your machine. Right. So now what you need to do is to have the setup for the VMware. So VMware is a software that allows you to create and run virtual machines, computer simulated in software that behaves like physical computers. So in actual sense, you're trying to install or have another machine within your machine. So you can have several machines within your machine. So each virtual machine has its own operating system, its own virtual CPU, virtual RAM, virtual hard disk, and then virtual network adapter. All of this run on top of your existing physical computer. Now, why do we install VMware on our physical machine? Right. You can run Windows operating system, Linux operating system, and other operating systems simultaneously without needing separate physical computers. So let's give a typical example. Let's say your machine-based operating system is Windows. You can install a VMware, and then in that VMware, you can run Linux, Ubuntu, and other VMware like server operating system on them. Now, it gives you a safe environment for testing. So for us in the design science research environment, we use this to set up a control environment for testing software, maybe updates, maybe checking the behavior of a particular virus, Trojan, worms, configurations without risking the real machine. Right. So whatever thing you do affects the virtual machine. It does not affect your base operating system. Also for learning and practices, it's great for students, developers, and then IT professional who wants to practice. So those people who want to go into the area of ethical hacking, cybersecurity, networking, cloud skills can all get used to this particular kind of environment. Now, since I have the setup, I just need to double click on it. And then I click on yes. Right. So let me give myself some time. Right. So in this, I have a welcome to virtual machine workstation pro setup. So this setup wizard will install VMware Installation Pro on your computer. So click next to continue. Very easy process. And then you need to read the license agreement. It's good to read. Just accept it, read it, and then click on next. And then it says custom setup. You can just leave it as this default. So this gives you the path. You can actually change the path, but I just want to leave it as default. And then user experience settings, you can leave this. And then you can create some shortcuts on your physical machine. And then you click on install. So yours is to find a way of downloading the VMware setup. Great, so it's done. So quickly, I click on this one to close the installation process. So I have the setup here. You can also launch it through your Windows app. So here I come in here, I can just search for VMware to launch VMware. So I can just double click here to kickstart. So because I've done some installation in the past, so let me just remove this setup. Right. So looking at this is how the VMware environment works. It has some tabs: file, edit, view, VM tabs, help, and then these are full screen. You can do an installation, keep it a full screen. Here you can create a new virtual machine, and then you can open an existing virtual machine that you've installed. You can also connect to a remote server. So now let's click on this one, create a new virtual machine. Right, so here it says, welcome to Windows, welcome to new virtual machine. So what type of configuration do you want? So we'll select typical, click next. And here it says, you are trying to install a guest operating system on your machine. So here it defines what VMware is all about. So it says it's like a physical computer. It needs an operating system. How will you want to install the guest operating system? So obviously, if you have a CD-ROM, this side will be active. You just pick the installation from this side, from your CD-ROM, and then you perform the installation process. Here, you can also download the ISO image. I have already downloaded Ubuntu setup. So when I go to my downloads, so in this case, I have the ISO file in my download directory or download folder. Yours can be on a pen drive. Yours can be on the desktop documents. So depending on where you have it, you locate it, and then you just go and select it. Good. So here it tells me that Ubuntu 64-bit 22.04.5 detected. Normally, when I'm teaching students how to do a BIOS setup, I use this type of the third option. I will install the operating system later. But in this, I have the operating system, the ISO file. So I click on next. Then it asks me to complete some details. So easy install. This is used to install Ubuntu. So I need to complete this. Personalized Linux. So here I type in my name, my full name, my name, and then I give myself a username. Let me give a simple password as 1234. And then I need to give the virtual machine a name. Let me give it VM01. I've deleted that one, so there's no conflict at all. And then here it gives me a path, a folder where it's going to store all my virtual machines. So by default, when I come to my document, I don't have any folder by name VMware virtual machine, right? So it means that this is going to create a folder for me called virtual machine. And in that folder, I can store all my virtual machines within that VMware virtual machine folder in my document folder. So I click on next. Then here, virtual machine occupies space on the machine, on the hard disk. So you need to specify. So here, because of teaching purposes, I'll give 20. And then I click on next. Here it says customize hardware. Before you click on finish, just check something. Always ensure that your network adapter is set to NAT. So by default, it's set to NAT. And then I click on finish. and then I go through the installation process of having Ubuntu on my virtual machine. So here I have a base operating system, which is Windows, and then I've installed the VMware, and then in the VMware, I'm trying to install Ubuntu, which belongs to the Debian family. So there's another video that I have explained what Linux is all about. So let's give ourselves some time, and then it starts the installation. The same way, this type of installation means you need to have a good amount of resources to be able to run Ubuntu and other virtual environment. So I'm using a 16 GB RAM. Some can go beyond that. Good. So here it tells me my keyboard layout. So here my location keyboard is English UK. So I select and then I move on to continue. Now it gives me updates and other software. So here I can do minimal installation where it comes with these features. I can do normal installation. I basically uncheck this because at the end of the installation, I can use some commands to update and upgrade the Ubuntu installation. So I can leave it, and then when I'm done with the installation, I can then update it, right? Because I just want it to just go ahead and give me the installation. So I click on continue. And then here, the next stage will allow me to erase the allocated space given, which was 20. And then I move on to install. So a pop-up will come where I need to click on continue. So then it starts the installation. So here it says, who are you? So here it picks my location. Then the same details. So let me just type my full name here. And then I gave myself the same username, consistency, right? The same way I set up the VMware. I'll just maintain the same thing. So it says the computer name was that. Right. So pick a username. So let me give it, it was VM01. That's the name that I gave whilst doing the installation of the VMware. And here the username I gave, previously I just gave Kwame. The password was simply 1234. And then I click on continue. After installation, you get this message. Installation is complete. You need to restart the computer in order to use the new installation. So you need to click on restart now. So looking at the top, you can actually have a full screen. Click on it to have a full screen. So in some cases, some people want to see this pane here, and then so that they can easily select their virtual machines and power them on. Right. So let's say you can have about 5, 6 virtual machines. So you can easily select it and then click on power on. And then it powers on for you. So now for you to log in, you need to remember the password that you used setting up, which was basically 1234 that I used. So here it is not ready. It gives me the graphical user interface of Ubuntu. Good. So here it comes with a browser. So here you need to prepare. Just click on next and then make sure you're ready to go. Click on done. Right. So let me just go to your key areas that you need to know. So here you can click on it. Because you selected NAT, you can easily browse. So it gives you Firefox, but you can actually use this to check your email. So this is a machine itself that you have installed another operating system on. So I can go there to check my Gmail account, emails coming through my Gmail. So I type in my username and then I'm good to go. I can go onto my LinkedIn account and then try and then check for messages. So I can, here it's asking me to update. I'll just click on ask me later. This is my files. When I click on it, it gives me my user home directory. So it gives me desktop, document and others. The same way you come in here, you click on show apps, depending on the version. Some will just show an icon, a different icon, but the 22 point, the version that I have installed, right? The version that I have installed, you just have this sign here, this avatar sign or show application. You click on it and then you click on terminal, right? So all that we're saying is graphical. So if you want to have access to the command area, right, you just click on terminal and then you have access to the terminal. The easiest shortcut to have the terminal is Ctrl-Alt-T to have access to the terminal. Let's assume that you want to have some cluster of computers. You want to have about 5 or 3 different virtual machines. There's no need for you to worry. Once you've installed one, normally use this when I'm doing a demonstration on how to set up Hadoop, right? So here, Hadoop lets you take a huge data set that's too big for one computer to handle, split the work across multiple machines so it can be processed faster and more reliably. So now, so let's assume that I want to have about three different virtual machines. Let's say 2 additional virtual machines added to this one. What I need to do is I can, when you want to close this, you just click on this icon here. You see power off, or you can have the power off button here. You can click on power off. You can restart, you can suspend. In this case, I want to power off. Okay, so with this, I end installation of VMware and also trying to install Ubuntu onto my virtual machine.